Hello, Professor. Today I will introduce something parasite. This is my content. In the last time, I have showed the reason why I chose this film. So today I will start with the introduction. Okay, let's move on. Okay, introduction. This film released in Korea on May 13, 2019. The film tells the story of a family consisting entirely of unemployed Vietnamese, with a father, Jin Ji-ze, idling around all days long. Okay, I will explain that. Sorry, Professor, because when I translate, this is a Korean name, so I don't know what's the correct translate in English. So I use the right translate in China. So I used the Jin, but not King. But it's also mean these people. Okay. The story of Jin Ji-yu, the proactive eldest son who came to the home of wealthy President Piao without forget the diploma to apply to join into vastly different family were thus involved in a series of unexpected events. The family dramatically transformed their son into the English teacher, their daughter into the art teacher, their father driving for the mail host, President Piao Park, and Park means Piao, and their mother taking over the role of housekeeper. I will introduce the character. This is the father, Jin Ji-ze, the head of the family, long unemployed, is a cowardly man with a strong desire to rise above his state. He hopes to improve his life by working for the Piao family, but he remains unable to escape the stigma of being a low-class person. Jin Jiting is a daughter, and smart and blood good at forging identities and manipulating people's hearts. He entered the Park family disguised as an art therapist and was considered the most capable person in the Kim family. Jin Ji-yu, although he is smart and clever, he lost the opportunities to go to school because of his poor family background. He disguised himself as a tutor and entered the Park family, starting the parasitic plan of the whole family. And this is the President Piao, a successful, rich but indifferent, with no understanding of the lives of the lower classes, and has a naive and kind wife. Okay, I will do my analysis. The first is cultural context and economic and class differentiation background. South Korea experienced the Han River macro in the second half of the 20th century, and its economy rose rapidly, but it's also accomplished by serious class differentiation and the gap between the rich and the poor. In an environment of high housing price, the Jin family can only live in the 10th basement, but the wealthy Piao family can enjoy a mansion. The cultural values. South Korean society is known for its competitiveness and success-oriented approach, with family generally valuing education as the only path to a better future. The fact that Jin Jiting and Jin Ji reflected their academic credential to enter the Park family reflects the strong connection between academic qualification and social status. And the cinematic techniques. The first is film language, used based to show social class. The film presents a clear vertical structure. The Park family is mentioned as situated on high ground, is special bright and symmetrical, symbolizing in the stability of the upper class. The Jin family's basement, cramped and dark, with drunken men in a sweat outside the window, highlights the operation of life. The mansion's basement, completely dark, symbolized the forgotten lower class. In narrative style, dual structure, comic beginning and tragic ending, the film follows a comedic, tragic structure. The first half is brisk, with the Jin family gradually infiltrating the Piao household, often accomplished by witty dialogue and absurd humor, creating a darkly comedic tone. However, once the secrets of the basement are revealed, the plot takes a sharp turn, gradually descending into violence and tragedy. And visual and sound techniques, the use of light and shadow, luxury homes, utilize natural light and soft artificial lighting, symbolizing the brightness and the security of the upper class. Small basement and the secret room, with their dim light and shadow, reinforce their marginalized and invisible existence. Music application. The Piao family uses a classical music, piano, string music to symbolize cultural tastes. The music used by the Jin family during their action is often tense and fast-paced, such as the farce music when they sneak into the mansion, which is ironic. And the assignment of the message, the first I think is violence and social structural imbalance. The bloody violence that erupts and the flames climax symbolizing a repressed class conflict that suddenly is very out of the culture. The second is invisible exploitation. The Piao family relies on drivers, housekeepers, and tutors to maintain a decent life, but they never really respect them. For example, they dislike their smell and upbringing. The third is hope, and this is amusement. At the end, the son writes a letter, imagine that he can buy a mansion and reunite with their father. It's real hard work. However, the director calmly concludes with reality, suggesting that the class advancement is just a dream. In personal reflection, this film made me reflect on whether hard work can truly change one's destiny. It sounds fantasy at the end of the film was heartbreaking, and it reflected that aspiration and the depth of many ordinary people with social mobility. In reality, economic and social structure are often more decisive than individual efforts, which has made me more interested in the role of education, politics, and the social support system in reducing inequality.